Welcome to a beautiful sunshiny day in the mountains of North Georgia. It is awesome out there. I'm still sounding pretty rough, and I've got a lozenge in here. I'm trying to keep my throat from going crazy on us. Boy, am I so glad Lydia was with me yesterday. I would not have made it had she not been here. I was coughing and hacking, and today's a better day. So the pollen, there's still pollen everywhere. Now the rain, you know, we had up to 4 inches of rain in certain places. You would think it would have gotten all of the pollen. Well, I'm sad to say it left a bunch of it behind, but we've got to have the pollen, so here we go. We have got so many birthdays today. We have some anniversaries. We have some prayer requests. And as always, if you want to contact me, you can do it. You can message me on my cell phone at 404-375-0590. You can Facebook message me. You can do it in a personal message, whatever. However you want to do it, get me the word to say happy birthday to your grandchildren. Today is Grandchildren Day, I guess, because everybody's sending me messages. We have a very, very special first birthday. Happy 16th birthday. We all remember 16. Boy, do I remember 16. To Kel Kiker, and you know Kel is the son of Paul and Holly Kiker. What a wonderful kid. How amazing that he is now 16 years old. That is driving age, so Daddy and Mama get ready. Happy birthday to Kaylee May. Now, y'all don't know who Kaylee May is, but I'm going to tell you something. This is the sweetest little girl you have ever seen in your life, and she happens to visit with us often because it's my Nick's girlfriend's niece. She has got the sweetest smile, and when she lost her teeth, the smile even got better. She is so precious. She also rides the bus with Freddie, and she's from Ball Ground, and she is just an absolute doll. So happy birthday, precious. And to Zoe and Ryder, both of them, brother and sister, celebrating birthday, and this is from Granny Kim, because Grandma Kim says, I'm so proud of these kids, so happy birthday to each of you. Happy birthday to another grandmother's delight, Miss Gemma Frank, who is Rebecca Ray's granddaughter. Now, y'all know Rebecca, if you see her today, you say, oh my gosh, I know it's that precious baby's birthday. She is an absolute doll. Happy birthday to you. And happy 9th birthday to Tatum. Happy birthday to you. Well, we have some anniversaries. You know, if you, in today's world, if you get married and you make it, well, congratulations, because we have found often it just doesn't work and you give up before you should. So congratulations to Scotty and Jennifer Jordan. It's been a happy time for them. Happy anniversary. To Martha and John Tipton, happy anniversary to you. And a couple of prayer requests. You know, we do the prayer request often, and sometimes I know the people, sometimes I don't, and somebody will send me a message and say, can you ask your viewers to pray? We know that prayer works. To Connie Hudson, I love you, I love you, I love you. I hope that everything tomorrow goes great. Just go in there and tell the doctors it's going to be fine. She's going to have surgery in the morning at 7 o'clock. And to Andrew Etheridge, prayers going up for you up in Fannin County. And a bunch more birthdays. Mildred Davis, Vicki Radford, Dalton Elrod, Kendra Gilbert, Brad Brooks, Phyllis Green, Phyllis Stewart Thew, and Stephen Robertson. Happy birthday to each and every one of you. I hope you have a blessed day. I hope you get out today. Go to one of your local Subways, pick you up the value meal of the day, and go have a picnic. It is so beautiful. Choose one of the rivers with a mountain view, and you'll understand where rivers, mountains, and good friends meet. Just a beautiful day to get outside, and the pollen really is a little bit better than it has been. So enjoy your day. We're going to talk today about a tiny town that we love. We love Ball Ground. We love everything about it. We love progress, but we don't like change. Does that make sense? We want progress to come, but we don't want anything to change. We want the buildings to stay, but we want them to be improved. We want the buildings to look better than they did, but we don't want you to make them look any different than they did. It's very interesting when you get to downtown Ball Ground because there's so much history in that tiny, tiny town. I would love to see something amazing go in the old Coca-Cola plant. I would love to see every single building just full of people coming and going and doing what they do, because people love to come to these mountains. They love to see what we've got hidden out here. Now, I'll tell you one thing we really need to do, and I think we should all vote on this, and this should be an act of Congress. We want a big sign put up down at 575 that says, welcome to our beautiful mountains. Please slow down and enjoy them, because me becoming age of an old granny, I drive slower than I used to. I'll be running the speed limit, and you folks are just flying around me like I'm sitting still. Slow down and enjoy these mountains. So beautiful, and we have so much to offer, and we have so much to share. And for everybody who is wondering about the pictures on my Facebook page about the Ball Ground Bridge, we finally have pictures, and Sam Wheeler told me where to look for them. We found them. Freddie posted them. If you remember what the bridge looked like with the beautiful canopy of trees, you can go to my Facebook page and you can see those photos. Absolutely beautiful. With the bridge coming down and changing, the trees went away. It was a very, very sad time, but progress had to happen. We have to have a new bridge. So don't be sad. Go on my Facebook page and you'll get to see a picture of what was before the progress is, and we really need that bridge. So we're going to take a break and do a commercial, and I'm going to get me one more throat lozenge because it is just, this pollen will get you. But it's going to be a good day. I hope that you will get your second cup of coffee, sit down, and spend the morning with us. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
So, what you doing?
I'm watching TV.
TV.
Yeah, well, it's really nice outside.
With the binoculars.
Okay, yeah, so I watch TV off the mirror that goes through the window into the binoculars so I can be like outside while I watch.
Watch a lot of TV? ETC's TV Everywhere lets you watch TV on your phone, tablet, or computer. Visit etcnow.com to find out more. 80% of cable programming is delivered by only 9 media conglomerates. These conglomerates have continued to push for higher rates and fees to independent cable providers like ETC. We think the types of programming and rates should be determined by you, the customer, not by massive media conglomerates. ETC is working together with hundreds of independent cable companies to keep these costs in check. To find out more, visit etconmyside.com.
I'm Lawrence Smith, University of Georgia. Today we have John Davis, former Georgia Tech All-American, Frank Ross, captain of the Bulldogs' 1980 National Championship team in a Subway showdown. Subway.
How many Subways does that Singleton own? He just up at number 17. He started in my hometown of LJ. Yeah, but he graduated from University of Georgia.
Hey guys, who's hungry?
It looks like Subway and Singleton Food Services Incorporated, the winner again.
Subway.
Fountain Roofing has been providing excellent service for 35 years. Let Lonnie assist you in choosing the roof perfect for your home and your budget. Commercial or residential, he can handle it all. Fountain Roofing continues to provide quality workmanship and will provide references upon request. At Fountain Roofing, we've got you covered. Call Lonnie at 706-692-6997. That's 706-692-6997. In today's changing world, some things should never change. Time-honored compassionate services are what families have come to know with Roper Funeral Home. Our professional and courteous staff offers traditional services, cremations, as well as advanced funeral planning, which relieves the burden from those we love.
Hello, I'm Kevin Roper. If you have any questions about the services we provide, we invite you to give us a call, stop by, or better yet, ask a family who has used our services.
Papa's Pizza in LJ offers a great buffet including a salad bar, pizza of your choice, and dessert to make your family night enjoyable and affordable for only $6.59. There's a large game room for the young and young at heart. Check out the large variety of sandwiches like our delicious Philly cheesesteak. Wings, pizza, sandwiches, there's something for everyone. Our party room is perfect for that special occasion. Lunch or dinner, you just can't beat Papa's when it comes to feeding your family.
We're back. I'm excited. Anytime we talk ball ground, I'm excited. Anytime we're saving ball ground, I'm excited. Anytime we're talking about progress in ball ground, I'm excited. Can y'all tell I like ball ground? I love ball ground. I love the idea that people from away from here are finding the treasure that we always knew we had. And some people don't want any change. Some people don't want progress. Some people are so excited about it. So it's kind of 50-50. And we're going to be joined by a gentleman who decided a dogwood tree actually probably brought him to town. So it's a good thing the dogwoods exist. Welcome. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm T.Y. Brown.
And you came from?
Well, I'm originally a Texan. That's why
Okay.
I talk like this.
Yes.
And I live in Kennesaw, and I've been here about 20 years. I tell my friends I want to be buried in Texas because I'm a Texan. But if I don't move back, it'll be just fine.
That'll be fine.
Yeah.
That'll be fine. Now, a dogwood tree really did entice you to look at the property you ended up with, didn't it?
It did. I had my business actually in downtown Ball Ground for several years in the old Ford place, and it was pretty rough. And but my business is really a bunch of artists first, and so I've got a crew of artists, and I had to make it really art friendly. So I took that building and made it look like a New York loft. Fantastic bones in the building, but it was pretty rough to say the least.
Right.
And so, long story short, I was just driving by one day and I saw the old elementary school and those beautiful dogwoods, and I said, they're going to tear that school down. Maybe I can save a dogwood. Wasn't an hour later, Eric from the city just happened into my office, and we were sitting there talking, and he said, you know, we're going to sell the old school.
Wow.
And we thought that you might be the guy to do something with it, because they had seen what I had done with the old Ford building.
Right.
And I said, well, gosh, I don't know, let's see. And I went and looked at it, walked around it for several weeks, and figured out how I could move my business into it, how I could make it fit. And then they put it out for a public auction, and I ended up winning the bid.
Right.
And
good price, bad price, because there's a lot of remodeling, a lot of work there.
the price for the building itself was a great price. The
Okay.
remodeling that's a whole nother
Yeah,
animal.
yeah. The Money Pit. We've all seen the movie, The Money
Sure.
Pit. Yeah.
But the bones on it are fantastic.
Yeah.
The school, you know, built over 3 decades, and when we closed on it, I, you know, casually said to Eric, I said, well, I may have just bought the ugliest building in the free world. But
even the front of it looks better and different now. You're
Well, it
just
is.
doing.
It is different.
You're just doing those little things, just a little something.
and the inside of it is much different.
I can't wait to see the inside.
It's a lot of fun. We have people from the city all the time come by, and they just want to take a tour,
Right.
and I'm happy to do it, you know.
And you're the poster child for preserving the old, creating the new, and making a blend that works perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now, what happened to the old building that you left? What's there now?
Well, it's still empty, and she's trying to lease it. And I noticed online, she said, looks like a New York City loft now. So,
Compliment to you.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
I take it that way.
Yeah.
Gosh, I think that building has some great opportunities. If I owned the building, I would probably take the front of the building and convert it into a couple of restaurants. It's really fantastic in the front. The back is a big, big box, but you also have curved 30-foot ceilings, which are fantastic.
Wow.
I would probably make it into lofts.
See, I think we should do walking tours of ball ground because there's so much history in these buildings, and you just told us stuff half the people in the world have never seen, even know where that Ford building is.
Right.
And I can remember seeing the sign out front that had the Ford. Is that sign still there?
No,
What is
sign's
that?
not there.
No.
I think the Ingrams have that sign, so it probably could be back there.
Yeah, it could. It could. Maybe people will take your example that you're setting a great example for people to look at just the bones of what they're doing and make it absolutely perfect. Now, did you get the property? How much property did you get with the ball ground school?
It's a pretty narrow piece of property, and I did not get the gym.
I was going to ask that.
That's
Okay.
a historic piece also. What my plans are for the northern end of the building, because I don't need that much space.
Is that where the classrooms are?
That's where the classrooms are. That was the original piece of the building. I'm I've been working on it with my architect for some period of time because I have a vision of what to do there, and what I really would like to do is build 8 to 10 upscale condominiums.
Awesome idea.
And
Yeah.
they'll all be custom condos because I don't want to be a landlord because I already am a landlord. And
Right.
the only tenant I want is
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So
I'm with you.
some people are made for that. I'm not. But I'm a designer by trade, and I really spent all my life as a clothing designer. Spent a lot of time overseas and building shirts and stuff like that. So
Right.
designing.
Would we know the brands that you worked for?
Well, Dr. Lucky's was our biggest brand that we did, and we did it was Dr. Lucky's Atomic brand, and D-Lab is actually an acronym. So had a business divorce about 10 years ago, and I ended up with the screen printing side of the business, which, but mainly, artists is what we're known for, and I've got 3 of the best around. These guys are fantastic.
Now, do they live in the area? Did you entice them to come and stay, or do they travel? Commute?
Well, one artist lives in Canton, and actually 2 of them live in Canton. One of them lives down in Kennesaw, not too far from where I do. I would move except for I'm also a gardener, and I've got 3 homes right together that is all really one big garden behind, and
Wow.
it's 3 acres of walking gardens.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to leave that. No.
No, it's somebody said, you're crazy. They were out looking to do something, help me with a pond or something, and he said, you've got a $250,000 home here, but you got a $750,000 garden. He says,
Yeah.
you're a little bit mixed up.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. You enjoy it.
Yeah,
Now, how far? What's your commute? 30 minutes from Kennesaw to Ball Ground every day?
The beauty of it is I live 27 miles. It takes me 30 minutes every day.
That's awesome. Yeah,
it's
that's
really
incredible.
fantastic.
And you're coming north, so you're going against the traffic flow. So that's pretty cool.
Been doing
Pretty
it for
cool.
7 or 8 years, and it's 30 minutes, 27 miles.
That's cool.
It's perfect.
Now, the condo design, would you do it like the lofts in Canton when they took the old cotton mill? Would it be something like that?
No, they're really going to be custom condos.
Okay.
Like
That
I
is
said,
such a great idea.
I'm a designer by trade, and
You're
I
going
built.
to end up on the cover of a magazine. I can see this happening. This building in Ball Ground, Georgia, is going to end up on the cover of a magazine.
As long as it's on the cover and not me, we don't want to ruin their subscriptions.
Yeah,
Have my
yeah.
picture on there, but I like doing custom things, and the way it happened is I actually designed a home about 3-4 years ago. I designed it several years ago, and then my wife and I we built the home, and she just left me alone and let me do it, which is kind of odd,
Yeah.
But I know what she likes. She
Yeah,
likes a big
right,
kitchen. So
yeah.
I built this home. Everybody says that'll test your marriage. I never had so much fun in my entire life. And
That's incredible.
After I did that, I said, what I'd really like to do is I'd like to build 1 custom home a year. I don't want to be a custom home builder.
Right.
I just want to do 1 a year and make it really custom. And then I ended up with a school, which is just,
Yeah.
gosh, that's God putting His hand out.
Yeah, amazing. Now, are the dogwoods okay? You're taking care of those dogwoods at the school property?
I lost 1.
Wow.
Because I had to build a warehouse, so I lost 1. So the dogwoods are
Yeah.
they weren't as brilliant this year as they normally are, but they kind of rotate years.
Now,
stuff
you
like
tell
that.
me you're providing 16 to 18 jobs in downtown Ball Ground, which is pretty cool.
That's right.
That's pretty cool. Now, tell me about your other employees. What do they do besides the artist jobs? What
Well,
else?
I've got 3 fantastic artists. Then I've got Beth Johnson, who's my office manager, just fantastic person, and Lindsay Crow takes care of all the shipping and receiving. Got a mind like a steel trap. That girl, she's unbelievable. And then just hired a new production manager, Brenda McIntosh, who had actually worked for me years ago and got lured away by a big company, and she's come home. So
Right.
hopefully she'll be back on the job managing all the production downstairs. And then it's just I've got a lot of workers, and most of them are local.
Well, we have some footage of your business, and I think it's time that we share it with folks because I've seen some of your T-shirts designs. They're not your average T-shirts, guys. They're absolutely incredibly beautiful with a lot of thought behind them, and something that you wouldn't tire of wearing. You know, it's something that you don't throw on to cut the grass. You've got some really cool stuff, so we're going to share that. And you met a young man from here at ETC3. How did you get involved with Trevor? Did he just chase you down, hunt you down?
You know, actually, Trevor got in touch with my son with the Ball Ground Burger Bus.
Which is our next discussion.
and so we started talking, and we took a look at the bus and everything, and then he came and he had heard about the school. I think he went to school there, just like everybody else.
Exactly, yeah.
You'd think they'd have tens of thousands of people because they come by all the time. I went to school here.
You really are doing something that people were so worried about it being torn down, and you're making it a timeless treasure. So that's incredible. That's incredible.
Thank you. I don't know why I built this affection for this little town, but I tell you, I love that little town.
I do. I've been there.
Well, there you go.
I've been there. Okay, we're going to go to some footage that Trevor shot of your business, and I haven't seen this. So I don't know if it's inside, outside, a little bit of all, some of the T-shirts. Sit back and enjoy a tour of D-Lab.
So this is D-Lab screen printing. We're located in the old Ball Ground Elementary School. Right now we're in the library. Originally, tile floors and drop ceilings. And what we did is just kind of gut the whole thing and had again, another local artisan, George Somerville, come in and do the floors, and did a fantastic job on this thing. Then we stuccoed the walls. Of course, we've got a little tin work that came from a local guy who passed last year, Birdhead, and what a brilliant guy he was. Birdhead, we've got up on the wall here, along with Emmett Kelly, two kind of iconic pictures for both of them. Artwork, we're kind of artists first, and got 3 full-time artists. This is, just a sample of some of the stuff that these guys have done. About 95% of anything that we do is in-house design. We got really about as creative a team as you'd ever want. A lot of times you see artists, all their stuff will start to feel alike. You can tell which artist does stuff. This is a little bit different. These guys, I describe them as chameleoids because they have the ability to really do a lot of different kind of feel. They're just as good as they come. And presses can run a whole lot faster when you set them up. It's all in setup time. So right now we're doing a little something here for Webb Bridge School. Well, the first piece is art, and so we have to kind of find out where they want to go, because a lot of people, they'll say they want something very hip. Of course, my hip and somebody else's are completely different. So, but when you're dealing with customer logos, our process is to kind of create something that shirts that people want to wear rather than just kind of giveaway type shirts.
Proverbs 4:26 states, "Ponder the path of your feet, then all your ways will be sure."
Too often, investors are looking for instant gratification or some secret formula for success.
The prudent, however, have pondered the path of their money, invested with a vision, and based upon a plan that drives the selection of their investments.
We believe the prudent approach is to have a strategy and patiently work towards your goals.
Give us the opportunity to compete for your business, because at Kiker Wealth Management, the wisdom is in the planning.
At Blue Ridge Dermatology, we believe your skin is vital to your health. That's why each of our providers gives personalized treatment recommendations. Let Dr. Mills do a thorough exam. He specializes in all skin conditions. Jamie Savageau is our nurse practitioner who specializes in skin disease. And our physician's assistant, Patrick Martin, is a certified injector for facial rejuvenation. Our certified laser technician, Donna Atosco, performs laser procedures with the latest gold standard equipment. Susan Newton is our medical esthetician. She specializes in chemical peels and skin tightening. Let one of the staff at Blue Ridge Dermatology help you look and feel your best.
With such a wide variety of great used cars to choose from, it's no secret as to why Lakewood Auto has been in business for 34 years. It was a year ago when Lakewood Auto left Atlanta for Cherry Log, and now Lakewood Auto is celebrating its first anniversary in the mountains. Are you looking for a car but have been hurt by bad credit? Not a problem. We can help. Just give the nice folks at Lakewood Auto a call at 706-946-1500. That's 706-946-1500.
It's the scariest thing I've ever been through.
The tree started falling.
I didn't think it was going to be that bad, but the neighborhood was gone.
Our Alpha agent came to my work.
Alpha responds, and they respond quickly.
In less than 2 months from the day our house was destroyed, I was in this house.
They are a company that does exactly what they say they're going to do.
For the best agents in the business, call Ed Stepp in Blue Ridge.
Ignite Internet from ETC. It's more than just faster internet. It's the way you work. It's the way you connect. It's the way you play. With speeds up to 100 megabits, ETC Ignite Internet is the way you live. Ignite, only from ETC.
Annie's is back. Same great food, same great service. Annie's is now in Ellijay on Maddox Drive, and she has all your breakfast favorites, including biscuits and gravy, sausage and eggs, pancakes, and French toast. And lunch offers meat and veggies like fried chicken, mashed potatoes, and coleslaw, or an Annie burger with fries, and finish with one of Annie's delicious homemade desserts.
I love Annie. I have been eating with her for 30 years.
Good folks and good cooking. Annie's Restaurant in Ellijay.
College, professional, local. Get the deal with ETC Cable TV. Big networks like ESPN, ESPN2, ESPN Classic, the SEC Network, and Fox Sports South. Plus 101 premium and HD channels. Be a real fan. Call ETC or go online today.
I love ball ground. I love sharing ball ground. I love talking about ball ground. You are going to be part of a project that is going to change the way downtown ball ground looks in a big way because your son is involved in another business coming to ball ground.
That's correct.
Do you know I can already smell hamburgers and onion rings coming out of that thing, and you hadn't even touched it at all, have you?
Sorry.
Tell folks about the new project that is going to be so exciting, and I don't know if you know it, but our family, Freddie's family, owned the hotel where your son is going to place the trolley. Is he going to place it near the gazebo?
Well, hopefully, that's the plan.
That is the perfect place. That is so cool. Now, tell us, where did this vision come from?
Well, as I was working on D-Lab, I went up to Harris Lumber, and they had some rough cut lumber up there that was just fantastic, just the way I like it. I like stuff that looks as old as I am. And I went up there, and they had this bus sitting up there. I thought it was a bus at the time, but actually it's a trackless trolley. It looks like a bus, but ran on wires overhead. And I looked at that, and I instantly looked at that thing, and I said, oh my word. And I was not interested in lumber at that point. I kept walking around it and got them to let me go inside it. And, several months later, I was talking to Eric at he's a city manager there at Ball Ground. Man, I cannot say enough good stuff.
I know. He's awesome.
He and that whole city. You know what their city saying is, don't you?
No.
This is Ball Ground. We roll out the red carpet, not the red tape.
Oh, I love that.
Anybody that's in business everywhere, they should go to ball ground.
Right.
Because they
That's
live
awesome.
it. They don't
Yeah.
just say
Yeah.
it, they live it. It's
Yeah.
the best.
Yeah.
So anyway, I was talking to Eric, and we were talking about this counter that we had built there right at the front, and I said, well, this came from Harris Lumber, and he said, oh, yeah. And I said, have you seen that old bus up there? Well, you know, he said, well, of course.
Yeah.
And he said, you know, the city is planning on buying that piece of property. And I said, oh, man. I said, I would love to have that bus. So we worked out a deal, and he was kind of incredulous because it looked like a rust bucket. And he said, well, what would you do with it? And I said, are you kidding? I said, that's the Ball Ground Burger Bus.
Oh, my gosh.
And so we worked out a deal.
Had you told your son any of these ideas before?
No, this is the beauty of all this. You know, like a lot of people, I've always wanted to be in the food business, but I don't want to be in the food business.
Yeah, I've been in it.
No,
Many years I've been in it, yeah.
You may think this is blonde hair, but it's really not. I'm too old to be in the food business, but my son has been in the food business for about 18 years.
Awesome.
So I talk, and he loves it. Because you have to have a passion for it.
Oh, yeah.
You got to be willing to work. So I told him about it and my thoughts on it, and I said, I'll help you, you know. I'll get it restored and everything.
The only problem I've seen from the beginning to the end of this is this bus will only accommodate so many people. Now, I understand you're going to add on to it. I don't know, once you get this done, that you will ever have a time that there will be, you know how you say, well, we'll run down there when they're slow? I don't see it ever slowing up.
Well,
I think once you do this, I think it's going to be incredibly amazing. I just think you're going to see, I think it's going to be, I mean, I can see it, I can smell it, I know it's going to happen. Time frame? Do you have a time frame on it?
Well, I'm pushing, we were originally going to try to have it in the fall, but I was trying to push it before that. And
sandblasting? Do you have to sandblast it?
Oh, we've got I've got Mark from Hercules Welding doing all the sheet metal work on it. So he's cut the skin off where all the wounds are on this bus, and there were a lot of them.
Wow.
And Joe from Black Cat Blasting, he's really kind of my project manager. He's got all the windows out of it now. We potentially could have it under primer and bondoed and painted within 2 weeks.
Wow.
So then we have to move it.
Can we show people kind of what it looks like today? I've seen what it looks like today, and I have a vision of what it's going to look like when it's finished. I'm excited. I can't wait. I kind of wish I could just go to sleep and wake up and it's done and I could go order me a burger. Wouldn't that be cool? Well, we're going to go to, now tell us your son's name.
My son's name is Dylan.
Okay.
His company is Burger Doc LLC. Reason it being is, for me, I've always called him Doc, you know, and so that's kind of his
Does
nickname.
he make an awesome hamburger?
He makes a fantastic hamburger.
I can't wait.
And he's real focused. This is not going to be just everything that you can think about. It's going to be real focused. It's going to be burgers and fries, or burgers and tots, maybe an onion ring or something like that.
Awesome.
And then we'll do
Well, we're going to show people, we're going to entice you to get in line and get ready, because come about fall, you're going to be able to go to Ball Ground and get you an amazing hamburger. Here we go. Now, this is, I haven't seen this, so is it footage of just the bus or the location where it's going to?
No, I think it's just the bus.
Okay.
And
right.
it's pretty rough. But
So when you see this, you're going to see, if you can dream it, you can achieve it. Here we go.
everybody thus far that we've got working on the project is local Ball Ground artisans. So we got Joe from Black Cat Blasting. He's taking care of, he's kind of the project manager. And as far as the bus goes, and then hopefully Rick Harridan will be able to do these doors. And so basically we're going to have to rebuild these things. And they're actually built out of, they were originally built out of wood. So he'll come in and route it. We'll put fresh glass back in there. We'll have to get some new piano hinges. So these are the front doors.
The structural framing, then again, there's no book on this, it's just what we can find. We're backing all up to brace everything up to put the new skins back on and install the new subfloor system in that was removed during the years it was used as storage. In 48, these buses, that was the age of rockets, and it was kind of like the 57 Chevy and all the fins and everything. Everything was kind of, and that's the way this bus is. It's all contoured in. And the problem is to if you can't weld straight down, it's not going to work. So what we're going to do, we took these, we ground all of the rivets off, and we're going to taper a piece of metal and follow that contour down so that we can adjust the bottom support for the skin so that it keeps that nice contour like the bus had originally. These buses ran after World War II all the way up to the 60s, and then Atlanta decided they were expanding so much because these were basically operating in the Decatur type areas down along Ponce de Leon in Atlanta. But as they were expanding out, it got to be a question of economics, the cost of running power lines to run these versus the new gas buses. And literally overnight they made that transformation from the trolley buses to what you see commonly today. And ironically, they're going back to the trolley bus in Atlanta.
I love that bus. I love that bus. And we were just talking about it. I grew up in Atlanta from the time I was a tiny tot. We lived in Atlanta. We rode a trolley. And I don't know if that's the one we rode, but it had the electricity overhead. And it was such an experience with my mama. And as a little girl, I just was fascinated by it. As an old woman, I'm really fascinated with what you're doing. I'm so excited. What if you hadn't had this vision? What would have happened to it? It would have been a piece of history gone.
Well, most of them are gone. Most of them actually have been shipped down to Valparaiso in Chile.
Wow.
And they've actually made it, they were wanting to scrap some of them, and they made it into a national monument, the buses that are down there.
This is bus number 1356.
Yes, ma'am.
And on your menu, you said it's going to be very simple. And when I go in, I will order 1356 and onion rings.
There
okay.
you go.
And then what did you say there's going to be a big burger called what?
The big burger will be the Hercules burger, and we're naming that after Mark from Hercules Welding, who's doing all the metal work on it.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Just great local artisans are doing the
You've
work.
put together a team of people that are going to be so proud of this. Now, what about the paint? Who's going to do the painting on it?
Well, right now I've got Joe with Black Cat Blasting, and he's going to be doing all the sandblasting, and we're talking to a couple of different local guys that, to do the Bondo and painting. And Joe may end up doing the painting. He can do it, but I might have somebody else.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, the inside of it, you said you're replacing windows. Are you going to replace them with what do you call it, tinted windows now, so people can, the sun won't affect you so badly?
We'll have tinted on the top portion. It'll all have to be, safety glass, because what's in there right now is it is single pane. It's dangerous. So all that's being pulled out. The inside of the bus is it's just brilliant. When I saw it, it had paint and it was flaking and everything, but I could see past it. And
was the seat still there for the driver?
The seat was gone, so we'll have to get a new seat. But we found the steering wheel.
Can you imagine a kid sitting in that seat and pretending he's driving that trolley? That's going to be just too cool.
I sure can.
I see birthday parties happening there.
Well, it depends on timing, but we actually, Joe and I were talking about that very thing.
Yeah.
It's dome shaped, so we're probably going to have to put something that if you're this tall, you may not be able to ride this ride, because if you're about 6'5",
you can't get in there.
Wow. It's pretty low ceiling. As opposed to if you're this tall, you have to be this tall to ride.
Now, I'm putting numbers in my head. If you can only seat 26 in there, are you going to build another seating area?
What I'm doing is, my plan is, and I've talked to the city about it, and I've talked to the local scouts and the Lions Club, and they've got for maybe a father-son project, and we're going to have a template of bus stop benches.
Okay.
And that'll go in the park.
Oh, good idea.
And then I've already got 6 artists lined up to do some real fun, funky, bright. So it'll be like a little art project down there, but not amateurish, very.
Right.
So the scouts and the
Here
Lions.
you go. You're going for another cover of a magazine.
Well,
that'll be 2 you'll be on.
I like
swear.
the energy of that whole thing, and I plan on. I like recycling stuff too.
Yeah.
And I've got all these doors out of an old school.
Yeah, I know that old school.
And that's hopefully we'll be able to use those for the park benches. But there'll be bus stop benches, and then I'm going to build little bus stop signs that'll go by each one of them, and you'll have Groover Street, and you'll have Old Canton Road, and you'll have Gilmer Ferry, and so, and it won't be just for the bus. There's other businesses down there, like the German Butcher. I'm sure you've done something on them. They make the best pork chop in the free world.
Right.
And they have a sandwich shop. Well, now those people can go down there and sit in the park, on the bus stop bench too.
Does your brain ever stop?
Not much. It's
not much. Is your son like you?
He's exactly like me, but completely different.
Yeah.
No, he's much more like his mother. Even temperament.
I want to say something about your wife, because your wife, you told me you paid her the highest compliment. Early on, you saw that she was a very wise woman.
That's correct.
And there have been things that she knew the ins and outs of, and helped you to become what you are today. And y'all have been married how long? 41 years?
Been married in June 1st will be 41 years.
Yeah.
We got married on June 1st, so I could remember the date.
There you go.
But we dated for 7 years before we married. So.
Now, is she part of why you love gardening? Because I would love to just come down and tour your backyard. I mean, my gosh, 3 acres of completely manicured, beautiful. How did you get involved in that?
I was my mother's yard boy.
Okay.
And my mother, I tell people all the time, she was 95 when she died just a few years ago, and she was wired tighter than an idiot's watch. She just worked. She was just wound up all the time. So I'm a lot like her, but I don't know if you've ever done any covers of ADD magazine or anything, but I've been on the cover of ADD magazine several times.
Wow.
So that's a joke.
You're funny. I can just see, I would like to see, I'm guilty of, I sleep with the tablet beside the bed, because if I think of something, I write it down just in case I forget by morning and I think it was a dream. I can see that there will be tablet after tablet beside your bed, and you would be writing down a lot of stuff.
The doctor told me to stop that.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Because I used to do that. I actually had a tape recorder.
I did. Yeah. Now, let's talk a little bit about the condos, because the condos are down the road a while. Is it a year or two in the plans? What are you thinking?
Well, I would like to get started on it this year. I really wanted to start last year, but I had the building was so old that there was no earthquake code when it was built. So now I get into a code issue, and you have to cover code. Now,
does it have asbestos? That's a word we haven't talked about. It's an old building.
The asbestos, there had been some there, and some of the flooring, and it had been remediated.
Okay.
So I think the schools were really concerned about all that stuff many years ago, and they went back through there and remediated everything that there was a problem.
good. And I'm thinking about the windows on that school. Those are still pretty old windows, aren't they, on the section that you're
Oh, they're
talking about
horrible.
redoing? Yeah, yeah.
They're horrible.
I can remember that was kind of the worst part of it. Now, how many classrooms are back there?
Maybe 8 or 9.
So-
There's, I tell you what is, on 2 floors, there's about 17,000 square feet. And then I'm going to build another 2,000 square feet on top of it, so it'll create some dimension.
Right. That flat roof is not pretty. That's not.
No,
yeah.
it's not, and it's
That's
got
not
problems.
A pretty sight.
And
yeah.
it's got problems.
Exactly.
Though.
Yeah.
But the building, for your viewers, if you ever hear of a tornado coming,
Go there.
go there, because
Yeah.
that building's solid as a rock. There's
Wow.
not even a settling crack in it.
Isn't that something?
There's so much steel and
Now,
concrete
the
in it.
original part was built in what year?
The original part was built in the early 60s, like 64. Then they added another piece onto the original part, so you don't really know it until you look at it, because they made it look just as
Pretty
ugly
good,
as the
yeah.
other. Then the part where our offices and showroom are was built in the 70s, and that was a completely different building style, and it was all pre-stressed concrete. And then the final piece where my production is, and where the kindergarten rooms were, was actually built in 79, dedicated, I believe, in 1980.
Now, is there a cafeteria still there?
The cafeteria is there, and that's on the northern end of the building. And actually, what is the cafeteria now will
Yeah.
be one person's condo.
Okay.
It'll be about an 1,800 square foot condo, so it'll be the biggest one.
This is going to be the coolest thing.
It'll be
This is
fun.
going to be the coolest thing. And for people who don't know where the Ball Ground School is located, it's across from the library, across from the First Baptist Church, across from right by the old cemetery.
Right.
It's walking distance to everything in downtown Ball Ground.
It's actually zoned and considered downtown ball ground. It's part of downtown.
Wouldn't it be the coolest thing when you finish the condos if people could live and work in downtown Ball Ground?
Well, I think there's a lot of people working from home and things like that,
Yeah.
and I think that's kind of the idea. There's a whole generation shift to how people work these days.
Yeah.
And
Do you know why they've been on 575 and 75 and 285 and they're done with that?
you can
know,
get over
everybody,
that.
Yeah, real
Boy,
quick.
I can get over that in a hurry.
Yeah, yeah. Yesterday somebody was talking about it. They said, well, we wish you'd come down here and work for us. And I went, no. You're in Conyers, Georgia? No. No, don't even think about it. I couldn't do that traffic. It could drive you crazy and take years off your life.
Yeah.
So what a lifestyle to work and live in downtown Ball Ground.
Yeah.
Now, will we ever meet your son? He was supposed to be here today, and I'm going to rat him out. He's bashful, and he wouldn't come. So how could he be your child and be bashful?
Oh, he's like his mom, you know.
How funny.
It's
Now,
just a
do you only
different
have
spirit.
one child?
No, I've got my son Dylan and my daughter Finley, and Finley and her husband are California dreamers, so they live out in Santa Monica. He's
Bless
an
their
artist.
hearts, all I got to say.
God
bless your heart.
I've been there.
Yeah, I've been there, done that.
I lived there, and I got over it.
Yeah. Wow. Now, would you ever really, I know you don't want to leave your yard in Kennesaw. Do you have a dream home in Ball Ground? Have you ridden by and seen an old house that you'd like to redo? Because you're a dreamer and you're a visionary and you could make it happen. Is there any house in Ball Ground that you're saying, man, I'd like to turn that around?
Honestly, there's several of them. But I've actually built my dream home. So my next dream home is going to be those condos, because they're not going to be cookie cutter. I'm going to build 2 models. That's my plan. And then I'll interview people and kind of get a feel for what they like, and then I'll try to talk them into doing what I want to do.
Yeah, sure you will. I see that happening.
Because I have a different kind of, I'm not limited really to one style of what I like. And today I'm kind of moving to some modern type feels.
Yeah.
I like real rustic stuff, but not rustic in the vein of Cracker Barrel rustic.
Right.
More of an industrial rustic.
And when you talk about what you did to the Ford building, tell us a little bit about where you saw that vision. Because if you turned it into a loft-looking area, what were you thinking? You were just leasing it.
Well, the truth be known is I had a verbal with the gentleman to buy it, and he had cancer.
Oh, wow.
And it accelerated.
Wow.
And so I went ahead and put all the money into it because my business is, we don't really do it out of our garage, and we're artists first, although my artists laugh if they said that I was an artist, because
Yeah.
I can't draw stick figures,
Yeah,
but these
yeah.
guys are the best.
Yeah.
So I have to create an environment that people really, where they want to go to work. And when I redid the school, I'll just, real quick story, Beth was sitting there after we'd moved in. We'd been in about 2 or 3 weeks, and it was 7 or 8 o'clock, and I said, what, on a Thursday or Friday night, I said, Beth, what are you doing here? And she says, oh, I just love it here. She said, I'd rather
That's awesome. What
I'd
a
rather be here than
compliment.
home. And,
Yeah.
and that's what I like to do, is make a place that people want to go to work, and where they want to bring their friends and family and say, look where I work, you know.
That's incredible. Compliment to you. Well, I have this thought of the day, and I'm going to do it 2 or 3 times today. I feel like I ought to do it. And it really is, it sounds like you, because you may have to fight a battle more than once to win it. You're tackling something that you may get in there and say, okay, wait a minute, stop, and let's back up. We may have to do it again. And this is Margaret Thatcher, a very, very smart lady who said this, but you may have to fight a battle more than once to win it. When you started with this, did anything surprise you, or were you pretty much, you got in there and you pretty much got what you expected and everything's going okay?
Oh gosh, there's surprises every day. So
I can see opening a closet going, oops, and closing it back.
When I first went into the school, you know, Beth and them and Cliff and Doug,
Have you lost your mind?
man, it's spooky.
Yeah.
They don't want to be there at night, you know, because it's big and open, and of course when we moved in, it's
different.
It's much
Now,
different.
you know, you were talking about square footage, and I'm thinking about heating air for where you are right now. How many square feet are you doing heat and air for right now where your employees work?
Right now, we heat and air about 18 to 20,000 square feet.
It's a big building. Yeah.
It is, and
Yeah.
it's my utility bills have gone through the roof.
I
but,
can imagine they would, yeah.
Such is life.
Now, what if somebody's sitting out there, owns a business, and they have this vision that they want to do a really cool T-shirt? Let's don't scare them away with massive, big prices. What is a finished, delivered T-shirt out of your company?
Well,
After the design team and after, you know.
you know, we do T-shirts for everybody from North Georgia, concrete, kind of the small side,
Right.
up to Coca-Cola and Grand Ole Opry. You know, those are big customers of ours.
So an average business person could come and see you?
Sure. And you know, if we're not doing a lot of colors, and we can print 48 shirts, and depending on the shirt, there's a lot of factors in how you price something, but they're going to be anywhere from $750 to $950.
There you go. There
You can't
go.
buy it at retail for that.
No,
It can
no.
be custom.
And that includes the custom artwork that you do?
Artwork, I use that as a vehicle to help pay my artists. It's kind of I pay them, but it's also their bonus. So we do artwork. Our published price is, you know, $75 an hour. They may spend 3 hours on something and charge $100 to do it.
Right. And obviously they love what they're doing.
They do.
They love what they're doing.
These guys don't really have a choice. They're artists.
They're artists.
They can't work in a cubicle somewhere.
Oh, wouldn't that be boring? Can you imagine?
It wouldn't work for them.
Yeah, yeah. Now, out of these artists, are any of them local people? The two that live in Canton, are they actually from Canton?
No. Well, actually, yeah, Randy Boyette is probably from Canton. He may have grown up in Kennesaw.
Okay.
But Randy Boyette must be from Canton, because he knows about everybody that can fog a mirror in Canton.
Well, I'm thinking about you. You are actually providing jobs for people who used to get out of college and have to leave to go get a job because there was nowhere around to use your creativity. So
Right.
there you go. You're doing it. You're doing it.
Well, that's the best.
I can't
That's
wait.
the best part of my job is actually employing people.
Well, I have a vision for the T-shirt you're going to do for us, and I can't wait. We're going to get this done. It's exciting to know that you saw a dogwood tree that really turned Ball Ground around, because it not only brought the jobs, brought hope for people who kept saying, I don't want them to tear down my old school. So thank you so much for doing what you're doing and for caring about the tiny town. Now, does your son know your time frame you've put him on to open that place?
Oh, he does, but
Okay.
He's the front man and he's the manager. Like I said earlier, I always wanted to be in the restaurant business, just didn't want to be in it.
That's right.
And he is, and so I'm taking care of all the build out, the restoration, the creative of the visual, and then it's all on him.
Is your place going to be close to the railroad tracks?
Hopefully it'll be running parallel to the railroad track.
Okay.
That's the plan.
And for people, if you have not visited downtown Ball Ground, it's a great place for a birthday party. It's a great place to go down. You were talking about the little German place. It's awesome. You know, their food is incredible. It is a wonderful place to spend the day, but I want you to do something. I want you to park at his business, park up at D-Lab, and say, hey, I'm taking up a parking place, and then walk down through downtown Ball Ground, go down one side of the street, go all the way down, and turn around and come back. Because there are several businesses open. Sadly, not all the buildings. There are a lot of vacant buildings.
I'll be honest with you, Cherie. My idea, since I've been in that little town, is if there was 5 restaurants, you can turn it into a restaurant row.
Absolutely.
And it'll change that town. It'll change it for the better.
You know what people are going to do? They're going to eat and they're going to ride. Those are 2 things. I don't care what the economy does. You are eating and you're meeting, and you got to ride somewhere to meet somebody.
That's our entertainment these days is eating.
Eating out.
Based on the way I'm shaped.
Now, have you had your son's hamburgers? Are they amazing?
I have.
Yeah.
They're delightful.
Does he use a great beef?
Well, we're probably going to use the butcher, the Derner.
A
local. And
Won't
then
that be incredible?
There's local veggies grown most of the, in the summertime. And then you got Martin's General Store, that they're a vegetable haven, so
there you go.
We'll stay local with everything that we can.
Yeah.
And
it's going to be incredible.
It's going to be a great blend of beef.
I'm excited. I'm so glad you found Ball Ground. Now, how many years had you had your business there?
I started restoring the old Ford building in 2007, so we're talking about 8 years now.
And when you got there, was there anything, what about the job force? Did you immediately find artists?
They came with me.
Okay.
My artists have been with me forever.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I'm excited, and I hope that you will take a look at downtown Ball Ground and put it on your schedule. You're going to be going to Ball Ground to eat about fall, and if you want to go down there now, we have a Subway, we have Dot's Restaurant, we have, what's the name of the little German place? I can never remember the name of that.
Derner is how you pronounce it, but it's D-O-N-E-R, and they seriously have the best pork chop in the free world.
Oh, I've heard about those pork chops. My son-in-law is German, and he loves to go down there and eat. And he just said, I can't tell you how good this stuff is. So there you go. Yeah, there you go. Thank you for being here, and promise me you'll bring your son back as progress comes along.
I will do it.
And because Trevor's in Ball Ground often, he's going to watch the progress. He's going to document it, and he's going to, I hope, do a special about this, because it's incredible to see something that was being thrown away literally to turn into something that is going to fill the streets of Ball Ground. I'm concerned about parking, and that's going to be an issue, because the parking in Ball Ground, we've got to get something going on there.
Well, I think the city's got plans on that. They're working with the railroad to lease part of that lot across the street, because the railroad has a 50-foot right-of-way there.
Right.
So there's a bunch of stuff in that right-of-way and then I think they've
and
worked
they
out
don't use it. Yeah.
No, just storage. And I think they worked out something with one of the property owners there. So the combination, I believe Eric was telling me they could put 40 vehicles in there.
Cool.
Right
That's
across
awesome.
the street. So that'll be fantastic if they get that worked
That'll be
out.
fantastic. And then you can get a job as the crossing guard, because crossing that road is going to be crazy. So there you go. Please check out downtown Ball Ground. Check us out every day. We'll be back on tonight at 6 o'clock. We'll be back on again at 1 a.m. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors. If they don't have ETC, they should have. And if they live out of our area, they can always watch online. Just go to etc3.com and hit Watch Live Now. Very simple. Don't forget Trading trading time today. We've got a free dog. I'm going to call Rich and tell him to put on Trading Time. It's a wonderful, wonderful dog that needs a home out in the country. So we'll talk about that on Trading Time this afternoon with Rich Scott. Tune in always, Monday through Thursday, where rivers, mountains, and good friends meet. Thank you so much.
We're walking in high cotton, old times there are not forgotten. Those fertile fields are never